Yeah, welcome back, YouTubers, to the grand finale of the New York Yankees booking little mini-series. Chapters 9 and 10. By the way, this book goes all the way up to 2006. And if you look on the back, there's two other books for this series. The World Series and the Super Bowl. So, yeah. Chapter 9, 96 to 2000. Return of the Dynasty. Even though the Yankees have made it back to the playoffs last season, Simon demanded that manager Bucks Showalter change his coaching staff. Showalter refused and said resigned. Now the Yankees needed a new manager. Many people were surprised when Joe Torre was introduced as the new Yankee skipper. As a catcher and third baseman, Torre had been a star with the Rays, Cardinals, and the Mets. The manager, however, he hadn't done very well. In 5 years with the Mets, he never had a winning record. As manager of the Braves, he had won a division title in his first season, and had gone downhill after that. As last naturally ill, Simon was St. Louis had also been in employment. When he was hired, one New York newspaper read a headline that called him Clueless Joe. The other big change took place at shortstop. Ever since Bucky Dent had retired, the Yankees had never found an adequate shortstop. This is the players that played this position for the Yankees. Well, none has succeeded. In 1991, however, the Yankees drafted a young shortstop named Derek Jeter. Jeter's grandmother was a big Yankee fan. He had grown up one as well. Ever since he was a little boy, whenever anyone asked him what he wanted to be, he answered, shortstop for the New York Yankees. He done well in 3 minor league seasons, but in 1995, no one thought he was ready for the big leagues yet. However, Joe Torre liked what he saw of Jeter during spring training. When veteran shortstop Tony Reyes broke his wrist, Jeter got his dream job. On the very first game he played, the opponent with the Hall of Fame. The opening day, the Yankees played the Cleveland Indians. On the second inning, Jeter made a magnificent over-the-shoulder catch of a pop-up. In the game, he had a home run up. Yankees goes to a 7-1 win. The Yankees are dead Jeter on their way, and they never look back. New York outlasted Baltimore to win the division title and then beat the Texas Rangers in the division series to the AL championships. The wild card Baltimore beat Cleveland in the first round, win the right to play the Yankees. Game 1, the Orioles seemed to be in command with a 4-2 lead. They turned the game over to the ace closer, Myrna Berdes. JG came to the plate. There was one out. Jeter took Berdes' pitch, lifted a fly ball to right field. Outfielder totally cast low. Drifted back up against the wall and prepared to make the catch. But as he reached for the ball, another hand reached out above the wall, swiped at it. Ball bounced into the stands. A home run for Derek Jeter. Tesla floating to the stands. Larry Manhattan interfered with the play. Tesla was right, but the umpires disagreed. 12-year-old boy Jeffrey Mazur raced over the fence to try to catch Jeter's head. I had accidentally knocked the ball to the stands. The home run tied the game and sent it to extra innings. Freddie Winning was finally in the game with a home run to get the Yankees to win. New York then went on to win the pennant, raise the Red Sox for the first time since 1981. The opponents were the hopeful Atlanta Braves, who won the first two games easily. Troy didn't panic, however, would take 3 games in Atlanta and come back and win here, he said before the Yankees left New York. Amazingly enough, that's just what happened. The Yankees stumped back to win 3 straight games in Atlanta, returning the series to New York. Now there was no stopping them. In the third inning, they exploded for 3 runs and turned the game over to their bullpen in the 6th inning. 4 pitchers combined to shut the Braves down when the Braves' Mark Lecoq lifted a fly ball. As on 11, Yankee third baseman Charlie Hayes, with 2 outs in the bottom. With 2 outs in the 9th inning, the Yankees were the champions of the world for the first time. Since 1978. So players ran out onto the field, midnight, center of the diamond. The capacity crowd in Yankee Stadium stood and cheered. The Yankees set their sights on repeating as champions, but found that difficult. Let them right in 1997, as still pitchers were touched by injuries when the season ended. The Yankees held the wild card. Fortunately, they failed in the playoffs to Cleveland. In 1998, the Yankees designed better and determined to make a comeback. The old choice of Randy Simons dramatically changed the lineup. Still, the Yankees started slowly, winning only one of their first 5 games. All sports writers George Steinbrenner was going to fire Joe Torre. At the Yankees' first loss, however, Torre and chewed out the team, but good. He knew they were much better ball club than they had been showing, and he wanted them to improve. They did. The next day they won 13-8. And they won the next day, and the next day. On April 21st, the Yankees moved into first place and then looked back. One reason was the pitching staff. And he had it. David Cohn and David Wells were all terrific. And closer, Mario Rivera was the best in the game. In mid-season, the Yankees signed Orlando Hernandez, a fantastic woman pitcher from racing club to the United States. They made the Yankees even better. Under July, the record was 56-20. Yankees ahead of second place Boston. The Yankees just kept winning and winning. No one could stop them. At the end of the season, the record was incredible. 114, 48. Most wins by any Major League team since 1906. The Yankees were a machine in the postseason as well. In the playoffs, they beat the Rangers in 3 games. And dumped Cleveland in 6 games and reached the World Series. And against such momentum, the San Diego Padres didn't have a chance. The Yankees swept that team like they had so many others that season. Once again, they were world champions and had the best record in Major history to boot. I don't know how you had to say we're the greatest team ever to Jeter. We won 195 games. Those people argued with him. In 1999, Yankees tried to get even better by King David Wells with Roger Clemens, one of the greatest pitchers in baseball. Some people thought they would win 130 games or more. That didn't happen, but the Yankees were still pretty good. It took them a while to get going, however. Because at the beginning of the season, Joe Torre was signed with prostate cancer. Lemon struggled. Nonetheless, the Yankees won another division championship and pennant, beating Texas and Boston in the playoffs. They then took on the Atlanta Braves. The World Series. Anyone expecting the Los match was disappointing, but the Yankees swept the Braves 4 straight games to win their second consecutive World Championship. And were the first team since the 1938-39 Yankees to sweep the World Series in back-to-back seasons. By now, people begin to wonder if anything could beat the Yankees. Guardians said they had to look no farther than the Yankees' own backyard. After several losing seasons, the Yankees match were rapidly improving. In 1999, they made the playoffs, but lost to Atlanta. In 2000, they were determined to make it to the World Series. New York baseball fans dreamed of the so-called Subway Series between the Mets and the Yankees. They got their wishes, each top won the pennant. New York City had never been so excited by a World Series in decades. Not since 1956 had 2 New York teams met in the World Series. Time on the Mets appeared to have the wind in the hand. Remember, Timbo Paredes on first base. Third baseman tosses the ball deep into left field. Paredes thought the ball was going to be a home run. Started jogging, but it hit the top of the wall, went back into play. Yankee outfielder David Justice ran the ball back to the infield. Paredes then all the time began running hard. Well, he could still score easily. No one told Georgina that, however. Just as throw was offline, Regina raced after, caught the ball, and leapt through home in one motion. Walt B. Paradise Hayden swept aside, tied them out. But that spectacular play gave the momentum in the game. Kansas went into action and started on top. The Yankees still won 4-3. Positive comments start game 2 for the Yankees. Early in the season, when the Mets met into league play, Clemens had hit Mets catcher like Plaza in the head with a pitch. Plaza thought it was on purpose and was determined to get revenge. The first time Plaza hitting the bet as one on the pitch from Clemens. And Plaza's bet broke in two, one part on towards Clemens. Clemens fielded the ball and threw it away. He just realized what it really was. Their home position and almost missed Plaza. Two players started yelling at each other. And for a moment it looked like they might fight. Fortunately they didn't. An incident seemed to take the wind out of Mets sails. The Yankees won the Subway Series in 5 games. And 4 championships in 5 seasons. With no question that these New York Yankees was one of the best teams in baseball history. The only question remaining is, how much longer could they keep it up? Chapter 10, 2001 to 2006, Pinstripe Pride. At first, the 2001 season followed similarity to the 2000 season. The Yankees struggled early and were playing on their mid-season. Beginning in September, they swept Boston 3 games to secure the division title. By then, everyone figured the World Series would take place in the Bronx again. And evident, not just in baseball, but the world itself changed. On September 11th, Marius flew 2 planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. The building soon collapsed and over 3,000 people were killed. New York came to a standstill. All of a sudden, baseball doesn't seem very important. The Daxels, which also included their plane that hit the Pentagon, and 4th to the crash to Pennsylvania, had a terrible impact on the inhabitants of United States. The world gone insane. They created turn on Oreo Sea. On September 17th, Major League Baseball took the first step in that direction with the resumption of the baseball season. The Yankees won their first post-attack home game on September 25th. With that victory, they clinched the division title, a game that fans something to smile about again. In the first round of the playoffs, the Yankees faced the Oakland A's. Despite New Year's strong showing in recent years, few people gave the Yankees a chance. The A's had won 102 games. While the Yankees were still distracted. and events on 9/11 and the fact that several players were injured. When the A's won the first 2 games, the Yankees looked like they were finished. But a game thing Derek Jeter gave fans a reason to believe in their team. It was the 7th inning. The Yankees were leading 1-0 with 2 outs when the A's Jimmy Gambit singled and Terrence Long hit a double to the right corner. A year after this, Shane Spencer fielded the ball with towards home. When the ball went over the heads of both good of men, the Yankees second baseman Alonso and first baseman Tino Martinez. I mean, raced towards home with a tying run. All of a sudden, their team came from nowhere, streaking across the field. They grabbed the airman phone on the fly. They shuffled the ball towards home plate. I was right beside him, made the catch, and tied the startled Gimme, who didn't slide. Out! The umpire yelled. Eggy exploded. No one had ever seen such a play before. As Yankee third baseman Scott Bruce said, "You don't practice and run towards the dugout, make a backhand flip to the center play and catch a play." The Yankees held on to win the game and then blasted the A's in the final game of the series. The victory gave them momentum entering the ALS. Where they faced the Seattle Mariners. With 8 seasons out, the Yankees won 114 regular season games. Mariners won 116. Then the American Yankees. The Yankees beat the Mariners 5 games to win, reach the World Series again. The Yankee fans were ecstatic, despite the sadness. Has still enveloped the city, as thousands of people work 24 hours a day to recover victims. Ground Zero, heavy in the Yankees were providing a little bit of relief. Meanwhile, the Arizona Diamondbacks won the National League pennant. They were a terrific team, faced by pitchers Randy Johnson and Kirk Stillingen. The series opened in Arizona, and the Diamondbacks, Hans Guzman and Johnson, won their first 2 games. Back in New York for Game 3, however, it's a different story. For 3 nights in a row, the Yankees gave million fans some unforgettable memories. For a few hours, it was almost possible to forget what happened on September 11th. Determined, the Yankees won a tight ball game, 2-1. The third baseman Scott Brutus knocking the winning hit in the 7th inning. In the game 4, Arizona led 3-1. In the 9th inning, 1 out, Yankee outfielder Paul O'Neill announced he was retired after the series. Punched a signal into the left field. That brought up Tino Martinez. A pitcher, Bert Kim, from the bench. All of a sudden, the ball was soaring. Martinez won. All of a sudden, the ball was soaring through there into deep right field. Every man in the stadium stood and cheered. And rats. I shook like them before as Martinez drive hung over the fence for a home run. The game was tied 3-3. For the next 3 games, well, he's ran when he could store. It was after midnight when Derek Jeter came to the plate in the 12th inning. I read the count of 3-2. That's one. Boom. Jeter's hit. Soared over the right field. That's for a home run. They gave a get the Yankees a 4-3 win. He knew races meant to try off as he had around the bases. The series was tied. Incredibly, Game 5 was just as exciting. Once again, Arizona led by 2 runs in the 9th inning. Once again, the closer, Kim, was on the mat. With Jose Posada in second place, Scott Bruce in the bat. He had crossed his fingers, which the Brutus would do with Jeter had done the night before. Their wish came true. Brutus backed the home run tied the game. Once again, in the 12th inning, the Yankees scored another run and tied the game. This time, a hit by Ronald Strano over all nights of baseball. The Yankees had given the fans something to believe in. Unfortunately, when the series returned to Arizona, the measured 3 games, the marked games in the year disappeared. The Diamondbacks blasted the Yankees 15-2 Game 6, then in Game 7. The Yankees lost in the final 8 as Mario Rivera made a rare error and led to the main run. Yet even though the Diamondbacks won the race, the Yankees had given their fans an unforgettable experience. By now, the baseball world recognized that the Yankees were one of the best teams in the league. Each season, they expected great things from the team. Over the next few years, the Yankees made a habit of coming close but falling short. In 2002, they won the division title and fell to the Anaheim Eagles in playoffs. In 2003, they outlasted the Boston Red Sox and raced the season to win another division title. Then they beat the Minnesota Twins in the first round of the playoffs. Now they would face the wild card Red Sox in the ALS. Rivalry between the two clubs had always been fierce, and this year was no exception. Throughout the season, the two teams have played each other hard, and that same style of play pulled in the playoffs. After 6 fought games, the series was tied. Then in Game 7, the Red Sox went 5-2. Only 2 innings remained, but the Yankees refused to quit. First Jeter doubled off each pitcher, Pedro Martinez, and Barry Wingo signal. Up came Hikem Hesatu. A recent equation on the man. Matsui doubled driving Jeter. Now the Yankees went in the run, and they weren't through. Jose Posada, the center field, and the Yankees tied the game. The score was the time 3 innings later when third baseman Aaron Boone stepped to the plate. Since coming to the Yankees mid-season, Boone has struggled, rarely hitting .200. On the first pitch in 11 inning, the sixth pitcher, Tim Wakefield, real nickel ball, and then nickel. Once on his heels and hits the ball square. He sailed up and out into the stands, setting Yankees back to the World Series. The Yankees were a big favorite to beat the Florida Mariners, but many of the players were spent. And then most of the series with the Sox. Marlins won 6 games. As usual, the Yankees tried hard to improve the offseason. First off, they needed to find a new baseman and replace Boone, who had broken his leg. Texas shortstop El Rodriguez became available in trade. But New York already had to start stop with their Jeter. Fortunately, they were able to convince A-Rod to move to third base. Many expected Rodriguez, arguably the best player in baseball, to lead the Yankees to the World Series. But the 2004 season belonged to the Red Sox. But yes, Boston had been Holmes but no cigar team. Other than losing after Yankees, now diehard fans running got some revenge on New York. I didn't think it would at first. However, the Yankees once again won the division titles, and they again met the Red Sox in the ALS. The Yankees swept the first 3 games, I mean 10-7, 3-1, and blasted the Red Sox 19-8 to make it come in 3-0, leading the playoffs. There's no team in history ever lost the World Series at the biggest to none. Many Yankee fans were already celebrating their team's victory. They no longer was the first time for everything. Unbelievably, Boston stormed back to win the next 4 games on the bet. As the starting Yankees headed on the Little Loons, the Red Sox continued on to the World Series once they won for the first time in 86 years. In 2005, the Yankees regrouped and won the division title for the 8th straight season. Well, unfortunately, they again battled out in the playoffs. It wasn't until Los Angeles they hosted 5 games. In one season, I don't know that once more. They said third in the regular season, but in the postseason, I fell short. This until Detroit Tigers 3-1. Yankee players and fans alike were disappointed that the team didn't do better, but October 11, 2006. This went turned to horror when the world got a small plane crashed in a new city. They said terrorists were again attacking the city when they could go to rest. But then the real swing emerged. When they carried 2 people. One was a 26-year-old flight instructor named Miles Stringer. The other was Yankee pitcher Corey Light. Both had been killed immediately in the crash. They used a live stat. So on the baseball more Trisby. Although he had more pitch rates for only a few months, he played in the major league since 1997 and was well liked and spent his to play in the person. He first baseman Jason Gambino had been Lyle's friend for many years. Right now he's at the Houston News. I'm really starting shock. Not sure that's how MLB family is. I've known Corey and his wife Melanie for over 15 years. Unless their son grew up. They've played high school ball together and remained close throughout our careers. We're excited to be reunited in New York this year, and I'm just devastated. Sadly, tragedies such as the loss of though we do familiar in the Yankees and their fans. But if they have learned anything about their team, it's that the Yankees never quit. Each season they try to win the World Series, and each season they try to get better year after year. They have treated the fans with spectacular memories and produced some of the greatest players in baseball history. Babe Ruth, Luke Gehrig, Luigi Mantle, Mickey Mantle, and Derek Jeter have won the Yankees pinstripe retired. Just who will be the next star Yankee is unknown, but one thing is for sure: the greatest team in baseball is determined to reign the greatest. And that is the end of the book. Thank you so much for reading this along with me. When's the next book reading? Oh, on Titanic. So, we'll see you guys for night. Have a good day, and see you next time for the Titanic book. Bye.